Hello everybody, VG time back again, and as promised in the previous video, I'm going to show you the updated version of my Syn Shenron deck, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. As I have shown in previous videos, I'm going to be having the cards laid out as I go along. If you just care about what the entire deck list is, you can go towards the end of the video. I won't be offended. You can just pause in and look at what the entire layout of the deck is. And then from there, do whatever you want to do with that. Now this video is going to be pretty short because I already did a card by card of the main body of this deck. So I'll leave that up in the corner here. But I will go over cards that are different than that profile's cards. So of course we have the leader. And the big thing about the leader is that your opponent cannot stall him from awakening, because as long as he plays a 4 specified cost yellow unison, he can awaken. When he does awaken, he draws 2 and untaps 1, which is pretty gross. On the back side, he becomes this guy right here, and his big selling point is that he has the best late game we've seen in a very long time. You pay 6, you bring back up to 7 Shadow Dragons with different names directly into play, and yeah, and all those cards untap at the end of the turn, so it allows you to be very aggressive and then have defense on them as the turn ends. So as mentioned, 4 drop specify unison. We have Mecha Kagura. This card is absolutely nuts, and is the reason why the deck is, well, one of the main reasons why the decks have been very successful for me. If I'm allowed to get to the point where I'm playing him and I'm being comfortable, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to win the game from that point. Negative energy 1-star ball. This card right here is your start of your Syn Shenron chain. So you gotta play 4 of that. You're also playing 4 copies of Syn Shenron Shadow Dragon Leader. He's a blocker. He comes out for 1 off the effect of the negative energy 1-star ball. And he locks down a card when he comes into play, so there's nothing not to like about him. And then the evolve target, the card that evolves on top of him, is the 9-drop Syn Shenron Destruction Incarnate. This entire cycle here, if you had to do it from scratch, only costs a total of 3 energy, but typically you're playing them on 1 and then you're going up the chain on 2. And then once he's on the table, you want to be a good player and declare his auto effects that negate skills. You don't want to just be like, oh, it's negated after your opponent started doing effects, because that's just you being scummy. He's a revenge blocker. Most people are not going to run their battle cards into that, especially the valuable ones. Or they try to bait it out with a skill and have a card later on that, or they try to bait it out with a smaller attack and have a card later on that makes that kind of move. Now, this is something that is new, which is the Syn Shenron Ultimate. You got, so this card right here, a lot of people don't like it. I think the card is absolutely nuts. And the reason why I believe that is because of its cost reduction. So it costs 1 less for each 1-drop card in your drop area. So that's battle cards as well as extra cards and things like that. Now, because of the way that the negative energy 1-star ball is worded, if you could at least have 3 1-drop cards in the drop area, you could play him from your hand off of the negative energy 1-star ball, because he'll cost 4 at that point. So if you're protecting your life early against, say, Vegeta, and you have this guy in your hand, and you have that guy right here on the field, it behooves you to get rid of at least 3 1-drops, and then you could go into this dude right here, aggress their attacker, probably kill it, and then restand at the end of the turn. And his ability is that he can't be removed from the battle area due to skills, and he is a blocker as well. And when he blocks, he has an auto that restands him and he loses 5k for the turn. So he blocks, so he's like an inverted digging deep. So on the first block, he becomes a 30k. Then the second block becomes a 25k like that. So against the right deck, you could drop them down and just wall them for the entire rest of the game. Now we're going to get into our Syn Shenron chain, negative energy 2-star ball. This is a chain we're playing for now. When set 11 comes out, I will be trying out the other Shenrons. But this right here is what we have available. So I kind of like it because it gives the deck an aggressive slant. Because this guy goes into this guy who's a 15k crit. And then for free, you can evolve into this dude who's a 20k double strike. When you evolve into him, he restands the guy that he evolves onto. And then he is also a deterrent to people to make a guy really large right away and swing on you. Because if you combo him and discard a Shadow Dragon, you can pop a battle card with cost that's in rest mode with cost greater than your opponent's energy. Now we're going to get into utilities. We have 4 copies of Giru. Giru searches 1-drops as well as Mecha Kagura, so he kind of just has to be there. He also searches our Negate, Master Roshi, and our super combo, which is Kata Blast on Gohan. Now I'm going to take a second to actually go in on this super combo because a lot of people ask me a question about why I use this over Zamasu. And it's because of versatility. Zamasu is an extremely powerful card, and I'm taking nothing away from that. Like on defense, there's nothing really better than Zamasu for y'all. But on offense, this card is arguably better. He's also searchable off of Giru, which I give points to. And he has removal built into his own kit. And then on defense, you know, not as good, but at least you get to draw a card off of him, which can help you get to where you need to be. This is added new. This is our 1-drop double striker of choice, which is this Goku right here. This is good not only to deal with opposing unisons, but also when we're really doing our thing and we're cooking and we have the blockers out and we're clearing their board as we are protecting our health, sometimes we're at a point where we have like 7 life left. And you just need to have access to that life. This card helps you do that, so that's why I run it. 4 copies of Zarbon. Card is kind of necessary for the deck. It restands a card when you combo with it on your opponent's turn. So you're able to, for instance, block with a 9-drop Syn Shenron, activate the Zarbon to restand it, and then the card that it blocked dies, and he's ready for another attack to be able to block. That's the most common use for it. So it's just a pretty good card in that sense. You can also use it during the block if you know that they're going to be swinging with something kind of big or whatever, and you don't really want to lose that guy. You could combo this, untap him, and then combo him, and pitch a card and pop it. So there's just a lot of cool things you can do with them. Next up, we have 2 of my most clutch card in my deck. Baby Vegeta, an unfair choice. So this card right here outs probably 99% of the battle cards in the game. Basically what he does is you can pitch a card from your hand to choose either to rest an opponent's battle card ignoring barrier, or to KO an opponent's battle card in rest mode ignoring barrier. This activate means it's not once per turn, so you can activate it multiple times. And as long as you have cards in your hand, you could always be able to remove something. It also helps you set up your drop area, as well as set up your Mecha Kagura Unison +1. So yeah, there's nothing this card can't really do. Only thing it has an issue with is indestructible, but even then, again, that's not a problem because you can just tap the indestructible card and then Mecha Kagura it, and then it never is going to restand ever again. And lastly, one copy of Swift Retaliation Cooler. This card right here has proven its worth several times. You going in on them, they play a toe board or something, and you go, nah, buddy, that's cool. I'm just gonna do this and continue, busting your cheeks in. This is the card to do it. It also is an attacker, and it will draw you multiple cards most likely. So again, nothing to dislike about this card. And that's the current build I have for Syn Shenron. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. There's a lot of flexibility with this build as well. There's a lot of cool things you can do for the side deck, for instance, or even in the main deck. So the most flexible piece, of course, is Roshi. If you have a lot of wide aggro decks in your area, then you can always swap Roshi out for a Flying Nimbus. And that Flying Nimbus will help you to get to the later turn so that you could activate your 6 and just take over the game. If you really want to, you could take out the Counter Blast Sun Gohan, even though I do suggest you at least give it a try. It's a lot better than it seemed. And you can put Zamasu in as your super combo. And if you do Zamasu in as your super combo, you could then run stuff like the Bojack Arrival card, which is an amazing defensive combination. So there's that. And you can also run stuff like Vegeta's Final Flash against certain matchups. Drop Negates is good on the side. Yeah, there's just a bunch of options and a bunch of flexibility. I just built mine around abusing Giru and his ability to search, and so that he wouldn't break when he searched by having a total of, what this ends up being, 26 targets in the deck, so over half of the deck he can search. And you usually always have one random energy up, so the ability to just get the card you need is pretty cool. But yeah, that's what it is. When the next set come out and I make changes, I'll make sure to show you that as well, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to fit a couple cards into here. So enjoy the rest of your time, and this is G Time signing out.